What's up, friends? Reasonably Prudent Vegan here with my cohort to talk to you today about the Houston Livestock and Rodeo show 10K that we did this morning. It's actually a 5K and a 10K, but as always, I'm gonna defer and.
All right, well, here, good grief estimates, huh? The bib, pretty neat. It's got your name down here, so. And then it's got this shirt, which I guess she has on, but pretty neat. It's got all the sponsors on the back.
Lace Up Houston.
And then here's the medal. It is still sweaty and disgusting. That's why I don't have mine on. The lanyard is saturated.
She's gross.
And this says, it does say 10K finisher. That's the only part where it differentiates.
Well, I think also the 5K ones were orange.
Right, but as far as on here.
Right.
So, yeah, this is still soaking wet. That's disgusting.
But one little side note that you forgot, in addition to being a medal, it also doubles as a belt buckle because, you know, it is the rodeo.
Right. And one gripe I have about the medal, it's got this fancy little Velcro so that you can get a belt buckle off without ripping it. But it doesn't, like, you can't put it on your neck and have it not twisted. It should be like this. One of the Velcros should be on the other side, but that's neither here nor there, I guess.
Mine works.
No, it doesn't. I checked, and I checked everybody's at the race. But anyway, yeah.
Okay.
Respect.
My elder?
Yes. So anyway, back to the race. It was a decent race. This was the 32nd year, I believe they said. It was good. It had 9,000 something people. And one thing I should have done before we came on here, but the entry fee was $35 times 9,000 people. It's $315,000. And they said over the 33 or whatever years, they've made $5 million. So if we times that times 32 years, that's over $10 million. So I'm just wondering what they spend all this extra money on. I know it's a charity event, I'm just saying. They pay people, so.
Right. They pay for the race, but it's also for scholarships.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The scholarships is $5 million. It's about half the money that they raise.
Oh, yeah.
So you gotta remember that when you're going to your charities, 50% is all they give back. Plus or minus, I'm sure. But anyway, the point being, it was fun. It kind of wound its way down Allen Parkway, which a lot of runs in Houston do. But it had some parts of the courses that we've never ran before, which was nice. It kind of went this way, went out, around, then it went up and did these kind of 3 little mid loops and came back and finished close to the start, but not at the start. So they had all the runners. They started the wheelchair, the 10K, the 5K, and then the 5K walkers, I believe.
Well, I think it was walkers in general, but.
Okay, well, and then they had the parade followed behind it, which you could see there were horse trailers everywhere.
Engines, a bunch of fire engines.
Right, so it took forever to get there in the morning, and we got there about an hour and 20 minutes early, I think. So we were there a long time, but this race didn't start until 9:20, or it was supposed to, which, you know, I complained that I have to get up early for a race. And then this one starts late, and you're like, good God, we didn't get home and out of the shower until after 1. So, yeah, that sucked. So, the next complaint, I would say it needs to be, rather than a 6:30 or 7 start, maybe 7:30.
7:38.
So you don't have to get up so early.
Yeah.
But for a marathon, it's nice because you're done. So, yeah, it was a good race, I think. I give the participants a 1 Keanu, or even a Judge Reinhold, if we're being, somewhere in there. Because I guess it's to be expected when you do a small, short distance. You have all the people that don't do races and don't know to get the hell out of the way. I spent the first 2 miles wading through the horde to even run. I mean, there were people walking that were like up at the front, like, and then just kind of trotted out.
Yeah, that was pretty terrible.
Yeah, and then, you know, by the time I got to about the half-mile mark, people were dying and stopped to walk, and then it was like that all the way to the 2 miles. But yeah, which made it worse is you're trying to wade through these people, and that's the nasty section downtown where there's all the potholes and patches and stuff. So that wasn't fun, but then it was good. There were some issues with the aid stations. But I think that was more the people running
the
than
runners.
the aid station.
Yeah.
Because they would all, like, even the ones up with me in like the 7 or 8 minute miles would just get it and stop. Like, not even keep walking, just stop. And you're like, bam, into the back of them. Or I missed the first 1 or 2 aid stations just because there was a damn horde of them right there. I couldn't get to it. But anyway, I went. It was fun. I went around, and right at the little after the 5.5 mile mark, for me anyway, the 5K walk group came around and we meshed together with them again. So you're trying to sprint for the finish, this last 3/4, half mile, whatever it is, and you're back in the horde of people walking, and it's like there's twice as many now because you got the 10K people and the 5K people, and they're all trying to get through. It was ridiculous. I mean, you would think that they would time it a little bit differently after 32 years so that doesn't happen. Or at least, you know, they could have gone a different route. I mean, it's not that hard. You were at like 2.5 miles before they split apart or something. I mean, you turned around and there was the end. Half mile down. But I was like, that was the most frustrating thing. And it was 80 degrees today, which is why my metal is still sweaty. It was 80 degrees and 100% humidity, and that was
pretty brutal.
I was dying. I'm not used to this heat. We got to get acclimated. Hopefully the Woodlands next week is not that hot.
Oh, that's gonna be brutal if it is.
But
guys,
you're fighting. I give this race a 3 Keanus. I took one off because they started between 10 and 15 minutes late, and just nothing happened. They just didn't say anything. You just stand at the start line, like,
oh, we're moving.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it just started moving. I mean, they got the lady announcing stuff, and I'm sure she said go, but there were so many of them, and it was so echoey, and she had the thing up so loud, none of us could hear anything she said. It just all of a sudden started moving. You're like, okay, 15 minutes late. I guess we're going to go.
Yeah.
So, and then I took another Keanu off for the meshing together route at the end, which was extremely frustrating. Yeah. So that was fun. It was a decent race. I probably won't do it again just because it was downtown and you have the runners, the parade people, the people watching the parade, and the cops shut the streets down. We got there, like I said, an hour and a half early, and they got already shut the streets down. You're like,
already
how
shut
are
the
we
streets
supposed to
down.
get to the parking?
Right. Already shut the streets down, but didn't start on time.
Yeah. So it took us longer to get out of there and get to the interstate than it did that we were running. So I had one more thing I wanted to complain about, but I can't remember what it was. I mean, I know I sound like a negative Nancy through all these, but to be honest, there hasn't been very many good ones recently. The one we did last weekend was good, but the others are...
Yeah, superheroes versus villains was terrible.
But anyway,
Yeah.
your turn. If
Okay.
I think of my thing, I'll project.
Okay. So...
Oh, I remember.
Please.
It's taxes. We bought this stupid
This is
TurboTax
why. This is
thing.
why he's in a bad mood.
Yes, and we do this every year. It comes with the CD. I mean, who has a CD drive anymore? So we have to spend 3.5 hours trying to get on the phone with an actual person to tell them that their ridiculous computer doesn't work. So anyway.
We're waiting on the callback. That's why we decided
Yeah.
to go ahead and do this. So.
It is now 6:04. we started working on it at 4:30, and
We don't have
our
a
number.
download code that works. We have it, it doesn't work.
So, anyway,
All right. So
TurboTax, if you're watching, over an hour wait time is ridiculous.
last year it took us 10 hours to do it, and I hadn't even made any money off of the small business. So this year I'd made a little bit of money. What did we say? 4 law firms.
Back to the race. No one cares about our tax woes.
Well,
Everybody.
I bet they do. That's why the callback takes forever. But okay, so my thoughts are, first of all, I initially was very impressed by the way the race was designed. Plenty of space for everybody to form up, as they call it. I was very annoyed that they started late, and this is why. It is Houston. We know it's Houston. We know how horrible it gets in the summer, and unfortunately, it's February 23rd, and we're beginning to have summer here. So, you know, I think they could have started the race at 8, but that's fine. I'm not on the race committee. But start on time. They did not actually start the race until around 9:30 or 9:35. The wheelchair race was supposed to start at 9:10, the 10K at 9:20, the 5K and walkers or whatever at 9:30. 9:35 we start, the sun comes out. But the course itself, I think the course was great. I liked it. I mean, we complain. Allen Parkway gets old. Every race in Houston's on Allen Parkway because it's the longest stretch and I think it's the easiest to close. But they did a really great job with this. You run out, like he said, you run out from like down by the courthouse annex and you get to run all through the streets and it's really great. And there you had the parade people and you had people who were going to watch the parade cheering for you because they were waiting on the parade because you had to do the race first. So that was great. And then I was with him. I was passing walkers early. Actually, I was passing walkers the whole time. I don't know how they got ahead of us. We weren't that far back. But the aid stations were very well stocked, but he's right, they're problematic. There was one woman, and usually this doesn't happen to me because I'm so slow that I get to the aid stations and it's kind of like VIP. Do you want 3 waters? We've got plenty, take what you want. Today that didn't happen. Today I actually had to get aggressive and say, I would like a water. And then this one woman kept doing this at the aid stations until I ended up passing her. She would get her water and just stop and just, oh, this is so good. This is like, get out of the way. It's just, it actually, it's not even about runner's etiquette. It's just, it's basic kindergarten rules. You have to keep moving, you know, like I would grab my water, look and get over. So that was a little problematic. But the course overall I liked. I had the same thing happen to me when I came down that last little, it's almost like a 4-leaf clover or a 3-leaf clover, that last part. When I came out of the last leaf and I'm going down, there's the 3K, or I thought they were 10K people being thrown off the course because I saw some 10K bibs. Here they come, and there's just a sea of, there's just a wall of them, and you're having to run a zigzag pattern to get around them, and that was upsetting to me because they're all wearing their like ConocoPhillips and their different companies. They're company people who are out there to raise money for scholarships. They probably get some kind of like, I don't know, you know, they get something for doing pro bono or doing work or whatever. So these people clearly don't run regularly. And I know that's mean to say as someone who has recently, you know, gained weight progressively, but whatever. So I was able to do that, and then at the end it was just a mess. Like, it's fun to go to the after race party, and usually by the time I get there, as you pointed out this morning so politely, by the time I get there it's usually over. It was not over. It was booming. I couldn't get a Slurpee because what line do I stand in? I did, however, manage to grab 2 bags of chips and 3 granola bars, but that was an accident. My hand wasn't working, and I just sort of like did the claw, and I won a prize.
I had a pina colada Slurpee. It was awesome.
Yeah, he told me all about it. So, I'm not actually going to give it any Keanu's because I think it was a good race for what it was. A charity event, a way to open up the Houston Rodeo. I don't consider that a real run. There's just too many amateur people on the course. Also, I saw someone passed out, and it took more than 2 minutes for them to find a medic. And I am not going to be sorry about safety. There was somebody at the finish line being carted off, but that was not the dude. I think it was a woman. And I don't know if she tripped and fell, but when I saw her, she was leaning back and she had her legs up, and they're screaming for medics, and it's so loud that, I mean, that's part of the fun, right? But like, they should have had bicyclists up and down. Like, that would not have been hard to check. So anyway, by the time I got back on that loop, the person was gone, so I assumed the medics made it. But Yeah, I'm not sorry we did it. I'm glad we did it. I'm glad that we have one. I'm with him though. It's not worth the hassle. If I'm gonna run a 10K, I'd like to be home by 10 a.m. So it was good. Now I'd like to talk a little bit about my performance because I'm pretty stoked about it.
Well, I got, I don't know, they haven't posted the official times. I got 50, I forget if it was 53, 57.
You told me 57, but
Did I?
yeah.
Yeah, that was what my watch calculated. I'm sorry.
No. So
Continue.
I came in Mr. Buddy. 1 hour, 13 minutes, 57 seconds, which by the way is approximately 17 minutes faster than the halfway mark at the marathon last weekend. So I was pretty proud about that. Now I paid for it today because like he said, it was really hot and humid and I got way overheated. I could not keep my heart rate down and my face, you'll see it, I think you'll see it in the picture at the end, was so red. We both got a headache, but like I have no regrets because I wanted to see if I could do it. But I ran my first mile at 10:12, my second mile at 10:30, and then the miles after that were about 12-minute miles, which is fine. Like that's better than last week, and so I'm happy about that. I ran in the barefoot shoes for the 10K because I want to continue to work up to that, but I won't do that at the marathon next weekend. So 0 Keanu's from my point. I don't even think it was a USTAF course, you know. But
Not even a Judge Reinhold.
No, I don't. I mean, it doesn't fit into the category. So, but I'm glad we did it, and I'm glad it was a nice little.
That's the Vincent.
Please don't do that. It was a nice little 10K to taper a little bit for the marathon next weekend. So. We're gonna be at the Woodlands Marathon next weekend.
I don't know how he's gonna get down from there.
He'll get down. I don't know how they do it, but anyway, we're looking forward to that. And
so you can see what we're looking at.
yeah, looking forward to that. Anything else?
No. Good luck on your running. Let us know if we can watch your race report.
Yeah, we'd love to see some other race reports.
Just make sure you show your bling.
Yeah, we don't run if it doesn't have a medal. Except Sprint for Life. We do that when it doesn't have a medal.
Yeah, but I don't even know if they're going to do that this year.
Oh, no.
I know it's going to go on. I don't know if my company has a team.
Right, because they're moving offices soon. Mr. Vincent. All right, guys. We're going to let you go. It was great talking to you, and we will see you next weekend with our second marathon of 2019.